Swadika, a very good evening and welcome to Thai PBS World Tonight. I'm Nabunag.
I'm Tulip นักสมภพเรา
And today, almost 5,000 new COVID-19 infections were recorded. And this is the highest number ever recorded in Thailand since the start of the pandemic last year. And among the new infections, we have to give them a big mention here because most of the new infections that were recorded, more than half of them are inmates in prisons across the country. So over 2,800 of them were inmates in prisons as announced by the Corrections Department last night. The department stated that the virus has spread inside prisons due to the admission of new prisoners, including prisoners who have been escorted to and from court hearings, whereas some of them may have contracted the virus outside the prison. And this raises the cumulative total of infections in the latest outbreak beginning in April to almost 65,000 already, while the total since early last year is now 93,794. Meanwhile, the CCSA spokesperson, Dr. Thavisin Wisnuyotin, also mentioned the COVID-19 situation in Bangkok because undeniably, apart from the inmates, there are still infections from clusters in Bangkok, notably the cluster infections in Klong Tei, Pathumwan, and Suan Luang districts, where the numbers have not slowed down, and at the same time, the number of severe cases are increasing. And so far, over 6,000 people in Bangkok are currently confined in compulsory home isolation, while 226 others are quarantined in hotels. Meanwhile, the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration reported today that 1,146 out of almost 27,000 people living in the Klong Tei slum have been screened since April 12th, and that 1,100 people have been tested positive for the disease. But besides that, the results for another 5,000 people are still pending.
Now, talking about the infection in the prison cells, the correction department said that the anti-establishment protest leader Panasaya Sitti Jawatanakul did not contract COVID-19 in detention after she announced her infection yesterday. According to the Deputy Director General of the Correction Department, Wirakit Han Paripan, Panasaya was in quarantine between April 23rd and May 5th, and that, he said, 100% active screening has been conducted in the Central Women's Correctional Institution where she was held. He also said that Panasaya did not go outside the prison or engage in any activities before she released on May 6th. 100% active screening was conducted again on May 8th in the zone in which Panasaya was quarantined. Also, no inmate who stayed with her had COVID-19. Another detained protest leader, Panupong Maichatno, whose COVID-19 result was positive today, just the announcement today, has been sent to the corrections hospital according to the officials. So 2,835 inmates are reported to have contracted COVID-19 in two Bangkok prisons. That is a big number from two places. According to the department, all of them have been sent to hospital, while some family members have been contacted in accordance with each inmate's wishes. The Correction Department Director General Ayut Sintapan has said that there will be COVID-19 testing in prison every week, and that prisons with a large number of infected inmates can seek permission from the governor and their local health authority to set up field hospitals within the prison compound. He also said that the department is proceeding according to the Public Health Ministry's guideline, including the bubble and seal practice for prisons with a large number of infections, reducing the number of new inmates, testing new inmates before and after court appearances, or opting for teleconference hearings. Also, some prison officials have been instructed to work from home, reduce physical contact with their families, and are required to undergo swab tests every 2 weeks. Meanwhile, it has been confirmed that the lawyer of key anti-establishment leaders, Noraset Nanongtum of the Thai Lawyers for Human Rights Center has been tested positive for COVID-19 as well. He just announced that on his social media today. Okay, now let's go to another side of the pandemic, because Thailand trying to revive economy, especially the tourism sector. They have been planning, they have been talking about it so many times. The last project we heard is something called sandbox, and then this third wave happened. However, Phuket will still open to fully vaccinated COVID-19 free foreign tourists without quarantine. The Tourism Authority of Thailand will proceed with its plan to attract foreign tourists to the resort island of Phuket without compulsory quarantine starting July 1st this year, with flight promotions as an incentive. The plan offers the first quarantine-free option for international arrivals in Thailand since the pandemic started last year to help the crippled tourism industry. The TAT aims to attract 129,000 visitors to Thailand in the third quarter of this year through the Phuket Sandbox project, where fully vaccinated tourists who have tested negative for COVID-19 can visit Phuket for a minimum period of 7 days before traveling to other provinces with airports. For inter-provincial air travel, the TAT plans to cover the fares for one-way tickets priced at no more than 2,000 baht, while further details are still under discussion. That is a lot of incentive. The project will focus on attracting tourists from long-haul countries such as the United States, EU countries, and the United Kingdom, which, according to the TAT, will allow their citizens to travel abroad from this Monday, May 17. Discussions are also underway for travel from Phuket to nearby areas, while Bangkok, Krabi, Phang Nga, Surat Thani, Chiang Mai, Chonburi, Buriram, Phetchaburi, and Prachuap Khiri Khan are expected to open for quarantine-free visits following the Phuket model in October. And that's all the news we have in this edition of Thai PBS World tonight. Just check on our website, www.thaipbsworld.com, for more news. We have so many things to talk about on there, not just COVID-19. We also have exclusive column about Myanmar as well, and many, many other interesting topics. We also have YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter.
And that wraps up tonight's edition of Thai PBS World Tonight. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. I will see you tomorrow. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ